Plant yourself where you'll grow, cultivating the life you want. Introduction. You hold in your hands a powerful and liberating truth. You are not merely a passenger in your own life, passively waiting for the right conditions to grow. You are both the precious seed, packed with innate potential, unique gifts, and dormant dreams, and the gardener, the conscious, creative force with the power to cultivate the environment in which that seed thrives. This dual role is your source of immense power and freedom. The quality of your life is not a pre-written destiny nor a matter of random chance. It is the direct result of what you choose to plant, nurture, and allow to take root in the fertile ground of your daily existence. This book is your guide to that deliberate cultivation, but first, we must redefine what environment truly means. It is far more than your physical surroundings. Your true environment is the ecosystem of your daily habits, the climate of your dominant thoughts, the nutrient balance in your relationships, and the quality of the choices you make when no one is watching. By learning to tend to this inner and outer landscape with intention, you awaken from the passive hope that things will simply get better. You step into the active, thrilling role of the creator of your own flourishing life. This is your awakening. Let's begin. Chapter 1: Diagnosing Your Personal Ecosystem. Welcome to the most honest and hopeful audit you will ever conduct, one that doesn't judge your balance, but treasures your potential. Your life is not a barren plot of land, it is a living, breathing ecosystem teeming with invisible nutrients and silent drains. This chapter is your discovery kit, a gentle excavation into the terrain of your daily life. But first, let's reshape a crucial belief. You are not a passive resident of your current environment, condemned to whatever grows, or doesn't. You are its chief scientist and, soon, its head gardener. This shift from frustrated observer to curious architect is your very first and most pivotal step. Our goal is to become fluent in the unique language of your vitality. We'll identify your personal sources of sunlight, those people, passions, and places that naturally energize and expand you. We'll map your access to water, the emotions, routines, and relationships that hydrate your spirit and sustain you over long stretches. Then, we'll hunt for the hidden nutrients, the overlooked moments of peace, tiny victories, and forgotten joys that provide the micronutrients for resilience. To make this tangible, we'll use simple, interactive tools, an energy flow map to trace where your hours and attention truly go, and a soil sample journal for the subtle feelings a standard planner ignores. Think of this not as an inventory, but as an archaeological dig for your own buried potential. By the end of this chapter, you will hold a revelatory, personalized map. You'll see clear visual proof of why you flourish in some parts of your life and feel stifled in others. You'll identify the dead zones and the fertile valleys. Most importantly, you'll feel a profound excitement, not anxiety. Understanding your ecosystem isn't about highlighting deficits, it's about discovering that the raw materials for your growth are already present and waiting for your intentional cultivation. The power to grow starts with the profound knowledge of your own ground. Chapter 2: Uprooting Invisible Weeds. Now, we turn our attention to the subtle invaders that compete for your light, water, and space. These are not dramatic crises or obvious vices. They are the invisible weeds of the mind, perfectionism that strangles budding attempts before they can break the surface, comparison that bleaches your unique color to a dull replica, chronic busyness that starves your roots of the quiet they need to go deep, and the fear of commitment that keeps you a portable seedling in a tiny, temporary pot. These weeds are not signs of a flawed character, they are often outdated survival strategies, once useful, but now crowding out the life you're trying to cultivate. The key to this process is understanding that willpower is a poor weeding tool, it's exhausting, temporary, and makes the problem feel like a moral battle. Instead, we will practice the art of gentle displacement. We won't focus endlessly on the weed itself, which only gives it more energy. We will focus on planting something more desirable in the space it occupies. For every anxious thought of not good enough, we'll plant a seed of courageous completion. For every pang of looking at someone else's garden, we will water the deep roots of our own inherent worth and unique growth path. This is a strategy of empowerment, not punishment. Feel the surge of excitement that comes with this new approach. Your energy is no longer siphoned into a fruitless inner war. Each time you consciously displace an old pattern with a liberating new thought or micro-action, you reclaim a piece of your inner landscape. This chapter provides your weeding toolkit, a field guide to identify your most common invasive thoughts, a ritual of spot and swap to practice gentle displacement in real time, and a celebration log to track the space you're reclaiming. Liberated space is the ultimate currency for growth. As you clear the clutter, you'll feel the lightness, the sun hitting new ground, and the thrilling anticipation of all you can now plant in the fresh, open soil. Chapter 3: Composting Your Past. Here, we embrace a radical truth practiced by all expert gardeners: there is no true waste, only matter out of place. Your past, the failures, the heartaches, the closed doors, and the regrets, is not a toxic landfill you must forever fence off. It is a rich, organic stockpile of raw material, waiting for the alchemical process that will transform it into the richest possible fuel for your future. This chapter is your guide to building a personal compost system, a deliberate and respectful practice to break down what feels rotten and synthesize it into something that gives life. We'll begin by respectfully gathering the material, not with shame, but with the objectivity of a resource manager. We'll learn to see that old failure as carbon-rich, brown matter. It provides structure and lessons. We'll recognize regret and disappointment as nitrogen-packed, green matter. They are potent with the energy of what you once cared for deeply. The transformative agent is your present-day intention. Through guided reflections and symbolic rituals, you'll learn to layer these experiences, turn them over with the oxygen of new perspective, and let time and wisdom do their transformative work. This isn't about forgetting. It's about fertile remembering. Feel the profound hope and energy this unlocks. Composting your past means your story shifts from one of damage to one of profound depth and fertility. That career false start decomposes into the nutrient of resilience. That painful ending breaks down into the humus of deeper self-knowledge and empathy. This process doesn't just neutralize the past, it makes it actively beneficial. As you close this chapter, you will no longer carry your history as a heavy, regret-filled sack. You will walk onto the fresh soil of your present moment knowing you have deliberately created a source of potent, organic fuel beneath your feet. From this place of self-made richness, what you grow next will be unshakably strong, vibrantly healthy, and uniquely yours. Part 2: Choosing Your Seeds with Intention. Chapter 4: The Seed Catalog of Possibility. Imagine holding in your hands a lavish, personalized catalog, its pages filled not with items to buy, but with potential versions of your life waiting to be lived. This is not about wishing on random stars, it's the thrilling work of deliberate selection. Before you can plant, you must first rediscover what truly belongs in your garden by reconnecting with the dormant dreams tucked away during seasons of practicality or doubt. We begin with a liberating act of memory, excavating those old sparks of curiosity and joy, the what-ifs you once whispered to yourself, and treating them not as childish fantasies, but as vital clues to your authentic inner landscape. This chapter is an invitation to browse without a budget, to dream without the filter of how. The crucial, empowering skill you will master here is learning to distinguish the should-grow seeds from the must-grow seeds. Should-grow seeds come from the external world, societal expectations, familial pressures, or the polished highlight reels of others' lives. They promise validation but often yield hollow harvests. Your must-grow seeds, however, vibrate with a different energy. They are aligned with your core values, which we will define as your perennial plants, the steadfast, recurring themes of meaning that give your life structure and purpose year after year, regardless of external seasons. Identifying these is like discovering your garden's native climate. It tells you what will not only survive but will thrive effortlessly. This process is designed to generate excitement, not overwhelm. You will not be forced to choose one single path. Instead, you will curate a personalized shortlist of priority possibilities through a dynamic exercise called the resonance test. Does the idea of a goal fill you with energy or drain you? Does it feel expansive or constricting? By the end of this chapter, you will have moved from vague longing to a clarified collection of desires that feel authentically and irresistibly your own. You will have a living catalog of seeds that represent not just things to do, but the person you are becoming. The act of choosing them becomes the first powerful step in their cultivation. Chapter 5: Hybrid Seeds, Blending Passion with Practicality. A common myth of growth tells us we must make a brutal choice, follow our passionate heart or tend to our practical responsibilities. This chapter shatters that false dichotomy and introduces you to the creative, resilient magic of the hybrid seed. In gardening and in life, the most robust and sustainable creations often come from intentional cross-pollination, the blending of a vibrant, heart-led desire with the sturdy rootstock of your current reality. Your goal is not to tear up your entire existing garden, but to skillfully graft shoots of joy and meaning onto the healthy, established structures already growing in your life. We will move from theory to design with the life plot blueprint. This is not about achieving a stark, total life makeover overnight. It's about intelligent integration. You will learn to analyze your current landscape, your daily routines, commitments, and resources, not as imprisoning walls, but as trellises and raised beds that can support new growth. How can your passion for community be grafted onto your stable career? How can your need for creativity be woven into your family schedule? This is the art of designing a life that is both soul-nourishing and structurally sound, where passion provides the blossoms and practicality provides the enduring strength. Feel the liberation that comes from this hybrid approach. It replaces the exhausting pressure of an all-or-nothing leap with the sustainable energy of strategic evolution. You'll be equipped with tools like the grafting protocol, a step-by-step method for safely and successfully attaching a new passion shoot to an existing responsibility rootstock. This chapter culminates in your first actionable hybrid plan, a small, elegant experiment that proves your dreams and your duties can not only coexist but can actually strengthen each other. The excitement here is tangible. It's the thrill of solving the puzzle of your own life, discovering that you don't have to abandon where you are to get to where you want to be. You simply need to learn the art of skillful, joyful blending. Part 3: The Daily Practices of Cultivation. Chapter 6: The Rhythm of Seasons, Working with Your Natural Cycles. For too long, you may have been told to burn with a relentless, steady flame, to produce, create, and push forward with equal intensity every single day. This chapter liberates you from that unsustainable myth and invites you into a far more powerful and graceful truth. You are not a machine, but an ecosystem governed by natural, intelligent rhythms. Your energy, focus, and creativity move in cycles as predictable and purposeful as spring, summer, autumn, and winter. Fighting this flow is the source of burnout and frustration. Learning to align with it is the secret to effortless momentum and profound fulfillment. We are moving from a calendar of rigid deadlines to a personal map of seasonal opportunities. You will begin by becoming a joyful observer of your own inner weather. Through a simple but revelatory practice of tracking, you'll identify your personal spring, a season of new ideas, planting seeds, and bursting energy. You'll recognize your summer, a time of focused execution, vibrant growth, and sharing your work with the world. You'll honor your autumn, a phase of harvesting results, evaluating what thrived, and gathering lessons. And crucially, you will learn to cherish your winter, a sacred period of inward reflection, rest, and silent regeneration that makes all future growth possible. This isn't about laziness, it's about strategic timing. Planning a creative launch in your personal winter is like planting a seed in frozen soil. it's a recipe for struggle. But aligning a new project with your personal spring creates a natural propulsion that feels like magic. The excitement here comes from the profound relief and surge of power you'll feel when you stop warring with your own nature. You'll be equipped to design your weeks and months as a cyclical blueprint, syncing demanding tasks with your high-energy seasons and scheduling reflection and planning during your natural downtimes. Imagine the confidence of knowing when to socially engage and when to retreat, when to brainstorm and when to execute. This alignment turns daily effort from a grinding push into a graceful dance with your own potential. You are not becoming less productive, you are becoming exponentially more effective by flowing with the current of your deepest self, not against it. Chapter 7: Building Your Support Trellis. No plant is meant to grow entirely alone. Even the mightiest oak is supported by a vast, interconnected root system and nourished by a community of fungi, soil, and rain. In this chapter, we embrace the beautiful truth that reaching toward your light is not a solitary struggle, but a collaborative climb. You will learn to consciously design and cultivate your support trellis, a living structure of relationships, mentors, and communities that provide stability, allows you to ascend higher than you could alone, and ensures you don't collapse under the weight of your own growth. This is the art of interdependent strength. Building your trellis requires both discernment and courage. We'll explore how to identify the different roles within your support ecosystem: the anchors, those who provide stable, grounded wisdom; the climbers, peers on a similar path who inspire and challenge you; and the nourishers, those who offer unconditional encouragement and joy. The focus then shifts to the vital skill of clean asking and offering, learning how to articulate your needs with clarity and grace, and how to provide support to others in a way that empowers rather than creates dependency or entanglement. This creates relationships that are mutually uplifting, not draining. The energy of this chapter is one of connection and expansion. You'll engage in practical exercises to audit your current relational landscape and identify where your trellis is strong and where it needs reinforcement. You'll craft your trellis invitation, a clear, positive statement of the support you seek and the support you can give. The excitement lies in realizing that seeking help is not a sign of weakness, but a strategic act of wisdom that accelerates your growth. As you intentionally weave this network, you'll feel a new sense of security and possibility. You are not building a cage of obligation, but a dynamic framework for collective rising. Your dreams now have a structure to cling to, and every upward move you make strengthens the entire web. Chapter 8: Pruning for Prosperity. If the previous chapters were about what to add, seeds, rhythms, support, this chapter is about the transformative power of a courageous no. Growth is not just an additive process, it is equally a subtractive one. A gardener who only plants and never prunes soon cultivates a chaotic, sun-starved thicket where nothing truly thrives. Pruning for prosperity is the intentional, compassionate art of strategic subtraction, cutting away the good to make room for the great. This is where you learn to wield your shears with confidence, liberating your finite energy, time, and attention for the pursuits that matter most. We will first identify what in your life represents a sucker branch, a project, commitment, or even a relationship that drains vital resources but yields little to no meaningful fruit. These are not always bad things; often, they are simply good things that are no longer aligned with your core direction. Letting go is not an act of rejection, but one of profound respect, for yourself and for the potential you are protecting. You'll learn a graceful framework for release, understanding that every no to a distracting opportunity is a resounding, energetic yes to your own prioritized growth, creating space for more light, air, and nourishment to reach your deepest aspirations. The feeling this cultivates is one of incredible lightness and focused power. Pruning is an active declaration of your values and a refusal to let your life be cluttered by the merely urgent or mildly interesting. Through a guided prosperity pruning protocol, you'll assess areas of your life, from your calendar to your friendships to your digital consumption, and make clear, compassionate cuts. The excitement builds as you physically and emotionally feel the space open up. This vacant space is not emptiness, it is potential energy. It is the blank canvas, the quiet morning, the free bandwidth where your next great insight, connection, or breakthrough will inevitably take root. You are not losing parts of your life, you are harvesting clarity and creating the conditions for your most important work to flourish. Part 4, Weathering the Storms. Chapter 9, Surviving Droughts and Downpours. This chapter welcomes you into the master class of cultivation, the art of thriving through difficulty, not merely in spite of it. We move beyond prevention to embrace the reality that true strength is not forged in constant sunshine, but in your intelligent, graceful response to life's inevitable droughts, those seasons of creative scarcity or emotional exhaustion, and its sudden downpours, the overwhelming floods of change, obligation, or unexpected news. Your goal here is not to build an impermeable greenhouse to hide in, but to become a deeply rooted, flexible organism that can bend in the wind, conserve energy in the dry spells, and drink deeply when the rains finally come. This is where your growth becomes unshakable. We will equip you with a dynamic toolkit for immediate and long-term resilience. You'll learn the anchor root visualization, a powerful mental practice to draw upon your core values and past successes when feeling uprooted by circumstance. For moments of acute overwhelm, you'll master the strategic retreat protocol, a conscious step back that allows you to conserve resources and assess the situation from a place of calm power, not panic. Crucially, we will shift your relationship with these storms from one of dread to one of curiosity. What if a drought is forcing your roots to seek deeper, more sustainable sources of nourishment? What if a downpour is clearing away the debris to reveal a more fertile ground? This reframe transforms you from a victim of the weather into its keen student. Feel the profound confidence that comes from this preparation. The excitement here is not the thrill of the storm itself, but the deep-seated knowledge that you are now weather competent. You have internal processes and practical steps that work. This chapter culminates in creating your personal resilience reservoir, a physical or digital collection of reminders, tools, and trusted connections you can draw upon when skies darken. You are no longer hoping for smooth sailing, you are becoming the skilled captain who knows how to navigate any sea. With this unshakable foundation, challenges become less about survival and more about revealing the incredible depth and strength you've been cultivating all along. Chapter 10, The Wildflower Chapter, Embracing Unexpected Growth. Now, we arrive at the most delightful and liberating secret of all. The most beautiful parts of your life may not come from the carefully labeled seeds you planted. This chapter is an invitation to loosen your grip on rigid expectations and cultivate a joyful awareness for the volunteers, the stunning, resilient wildflowers of experience, connection, and insight that sprout unbidden in the edges of your carefully tended rows. These are the chance encounters that become lifelong friendships, the failed project that leads to a brilliant new direction, the quiet hobby that unexpectedly becomes a sanctuary. Your journey is not a sterile laboratory experiment, it is a living meadow, and its spontaneous beauty is its greatest gift. We will practice the twin arts of noticing and nourishing. First, you'll hone your ability to spot these wildflowers amidst the planned growth, which often requires silencing the inner critic that dismisses them as weeds or distractions. Is that unexpected pause in your career a weed of idleness, or is it the wildflower of necessary rest creating space for a new dream? Second, you'll learn how to gently nourish these surprises without forcing them to conform to your original blueprint. This might mean dedicating a small portion of your weekly time to an emerging curiosity or allowing a spontaneous connection to develop at its own natural pace. This is the practice of flexible fidelity, staying true to your core direction while being wonderfully open to the paths that appear along the way. The energy this cultivates is one of awe, playfulness, and profound trust. This chapter will guide you through creating a wildflower journal, a dedicated space to document and celebrate these unplanned gifts, training your mind to see serendipity as a form of intelligent guidance. The ultimate excitement lies in realizing that you are not just the architect of your garden, you are also its delighted explorer, constantly discovering new, vibrant life within it. By embracing this reality, you release the exhausting burden of total control and step into a collaborative dance with possibility itself. Your life becomes not a checklist of achieved goals, but a rich, ever-unfolding story of planned brilliance and magical accident, each equally vital to the breathtaking landscape you are creating. Conclusion: from garden to landscape. You began by tending your own inner soil, but look up now and see the horizon you've helped to shape. The garden you cultivated with such care no longer sits alone, its roots have intertwined with the world around it, its blossoms feed unexpected life, and the seeds of your resilience, clarity, and joy have been carried on the wind to take root in places you may never see. Your personal growth has quietly transformed you from a gardener into a vital part of the living landscape, where your very presence, your steadiness, your courage, your open-hearted wonder, now nourishes the ecosystem around you, inviting others toward their own light without a word spoken, proving that the truest harvest was never just what you grew for yourself, but the abundant, thriving world your growth makes possible for all.